Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Misguided Shenanigans, episode numero dos.
We didn't scare you away yet.
No, not yet.
They came back. They came back.
I mean, I'm
we
waiting
think
for a
they
knock.
came back.
I'm waiting for a knock on the door anytime to bring that stray jacket in, put me in it, wheel me the fuck out on a hand truck, my 6'7" ass on a hand truck. Goodbye. That's it. No more misguided shenanigans. You know, Finney takes it on all by himself.
Oh, we're in trouble then. Like, we're going to go way off the rails, down a ditch, into a hole. I don't know if we'll ever come back, into some vortex. Like, it's going to go bad.
Oh, my God. Well,
the worse the reason goes at that point.
Oh, amen. Well, listen, dude, here we are. Episode 2 already. Really excited again to be here. I think this was our calling. We're meant to go from internet radio back in the early 2000s to podcasting in 2021. So super excited. But I think today, a little bit of a special episode, maybe a little shorter than others. But I think we're going to go like, what are you watching? Right? What are you guys, our listeners, what are you watching right now? Right? So Finney and I mean, dude,
we got a little list.
We got a little list, just a little one. So Finney, why don't you kick us off here with the first of what are you watching?
I would say we're watching a little bit of Game Changers, The Mighty Ducks.
Dude, I know we hit on it in episode 1, but man, Emilio, dude, I love it. I can't not hate it. I can't not love it. It's amazing.
I saw the previews. I'm like, hate it, not gonna watch it. I really did, because the previews, It was like, okay, really, what are you doing? You're screwing it up. Mm-hmm. So I went in with low expectations.
Yep.
And I was pleasantly surprised. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek and comedic, and makes fun of the old things, but they did it right. And that's the surprising thing. They did it right. So far, it's got my attention.
Disney.
Bastards. I love you, Disney, but you suck me in every time.
They did it right. They did it right. I mean, Estevez returns as the owner of an ice rink.
A really run down, crappy shithole of an ice rink. Let's be honest.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's bottom of the barrel. But I mean, for what it is, the story, the casting, I think the kids are great. They actually remind me of, some of the original Ducks.
The goalie reminds me of Goldberg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Only this goalie's a little bit lazier than the original Goldberg was.
And he plays video games.
Exactly. But dude,
and then the dancing ice skater that pretends she's a crossplay person with a like cape and everything. Like, yeah.
Cosplayer, I think is what you mean to say. Cosplayer dresses up as, whatever it is, Dungeons and Dragons or whatever the thing is in the series. But dude, I think I'm on episode 3 and I love it, dude. I think it's fantastic. I can't wait for the rest. I can't wait. I love it.
It's really good. It is really good. I will say Gilmore Girls' mom coming into play in this was
a little Lauren Graham. Is that her name? Lauren Graham?
I believe it is. I liked her in Parenthood. Wasn't a fan of Gilmore.
Loved her. Yep.
Parenthood, she was amazing. I feel like she brings that and Bad Santa. Let's be honest. Great and Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton. So I really like the casting. I thought that they brought in some great casting. The kids are really good. The storyline's what gets me, because I was expecting it to be the same old stuff, but they actually took a little turn and twist with it.
Yeah, I think they tweaked it a little bit, and I think you can probably be a little more specific on that than I can. So I'm going to let you take that from here.
They, like instead of remaking, the first Mighty Ducks was, oh, we're going to take this bad news bears type of team and make them like a good bunch of kids. And this guy who's a hotshot lawyer has to learn how to play teamwork, right? And then you go to Olympics and it's like, oh, we still got to learn to be a team and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not about making them a team. This one is about making them good. Like they're all friends. They're all has-beens. They're all like, so you don't have to make them a team. And she's trying that approach. Let's make you a team. But they're all friends. They all get along. That's not the issue. The issue is they're not good. And I think that's a different twist of the storyline. And then you get Emilio, who's like, what's his character? Gordon Bombay. Gordon Bombay is like, I hate hockey.
Yep.
I don't like no hockey here.
I refuse to coach. I will not coach.
And then he's secretly behind the scenes, like jotting in things. Like it's kind of like Hans, but a grumpy, angry Hans. So like it wasn't like they remanufactured the storyline. They took and said, what all the stuff Gordon went through, like what is he like now? And like this team, like they're not the Mighty Ducks. Who are they? It's a new team. It's not the same. And so I like that it's a different storyline. I like that it's a different concept. I like that it's new. It's fresh. It's not the same old regurgitated thing,
Yep. Nope. I agree. I think it's a refreshing take on the Mighty Ducks, and I'm really excited for the reunion because apparently they're bringing back probably 4 or 5 cast members from the original Mighty Ducks, like the original Mighty Ducks.
Okay, here's the thing I've learned about Disney Plus. I'm not gonna buy it until I've seen it because I was burnt. Great expectations with Mandalorian. Then I was burnt with WandaVision because I was expecting this big Luke Skywalker walking into the Mandalorian ending to WandaVision and was severely let down. So I'm gonna have low expectations. I'm just gonna go in low. I can't do it.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And I mean, speaking of WandaVision, I felt the same way. I thought the series itself.
Loved it.
I thought the series itself was good until it hit the last episode. And then I was like,
where was the payoff?
What the ever living fuck did you do? Guess what? Not Jon Favreau. Not Jon Favreau. Okay. Not Jon Favreau.
I did like the Darkholder book. I thought that was very important to bring in. I liked the hints of Mephisto being involved. Love that. There's no payoff at the end, though. Like with Mandalorian, you had like hints of Boba Fett or a mystic character in season 1, right? Season 2, Luke Skywalker busting open and coming in. Like, holy cow. All right, good. WandaVision, man, Quicksilver coming over from Fox. And then Agatha all along. Like, and then you get the anti-Vision. You get
which was awesome, by the way.
You get all the hints of Fantastic Four, all the hints of X-Men, and the Sentinel Project. Like all these little hints throughout it. There was no payoff at the end, though.
Yeah, and no, I agree. I agree. And the series is over. Like they're done. They're not doing it anymore. I like the fact.
Season 2.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, there is a season 2 coming of WandaVision.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so, but that stinks because it's like it was a letdown. Like, okay, where are you going with season 2? Because it was just such a letdown. Like,
yeah. Well, it depends.
Even was it Rambo's character? You didn't get to see who she becomes, which like she becomes a huge like superhero, and there's impacts from Captain Marvel not being around to help her when they were supposed to be like family. And so like there's so many things left on the table.
Well, I mean, and maybe season 2 will dive into that. You know what I mean? You never know.
That's the one thing that Disney's done that I haven't liked is they just didn't go far enough with this one.
I agree. And I was really disappointed. I would have liked to seen a few more cameos in it, or at least, I mean, they obviously mentioned the snap and when people return from the snap and how different things are and things like that. So I definitely appreciate that. And
it is set up my next kind of show I'm into, which we'll get into in a minute, which is Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
So it did set that up. So, but go ahead.
No. I mean, that's kind of where I was going with it. I mean, I think if they can do like they did the movies and intertwine these shows, you know, I think it's just going to be huge, dude. I think, and if it can lead into, you know, what, Captain Marvel 2 or even Black Panther, I mean, you know, I think it'd be fantastic. Huh?
Moon Knight's coming around. Hawkeye's coming around.
Right.
A lot of different characters floating around. Like,
yep.
I just wish there was a payoff to WandaVision. And I feel like we kind of got the payoff for Falcon and Winter Soldier early. So if you haven't seen it by now, by the time this comes out, I'm sorry you're a little late. So spoiler alert, you should have already watched it. This is a few weeks after the episode came out, or no, well, 2 weeks, a week to 2 weeks. But did you see the latest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I caught up the other day. Yep.
So when he's really U.S. agent, but he's the new Captain America. But in the comics, he's U.S. agent, carries a gun, has a shield. When you see him become the super soldier and then straight up like kills the guy with a shield.
Oh, yeah.
To me, that's the payoff, because you see him become U.S. agent and you're like, I did not see that coming. Like, okay, this next episode could be garbage, and I'm still satisfied because I got to see this character fully develop into what he's going to become.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's what I was missing with WandaVision.
Yep. And I think we're about to see the transition from Falcon to Falcon getting the shield, right? I mean, I think that's what this is setting up.
Or is it Bucky that gets the shield? Because they both have the shield in the comics. Bucky becomes Captain America and Falcon becomes Captain America.
Right.
And we know Disney plays around with the storylines a little bit. So which one happens? Does Bucky take over for a minute and then Sam builds up to taking it over, maybe in another season? Like, how does this pan out? So I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
I was going to say, I definitely think who's the character now? What's his name? The new Captain America, U.S. agent. I do think he gets it taken away in this next episode, though.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think if they're following what happened at the end of, what was it, Endgame, right?
Yeah.
Sam should get the shield.
He should. But does Bucky take it?
Well, originally in the books, Bucky is the first one to take it. Falcon doesn't take it until more recent comic books.
True.
So you're right. What storyline are they going to follow? I would like to see, I think at this point where we're at in the story, I think I would like to see Falcon take it. But I don't know. It depends on how they go, dude. There's so many ways.
I'd like to see Bucky take it and be like, he doesn't deserve it. You're not ready. I'm gonna take it. And when you're ready, I'm gonna give it to you, because this is not gonna be mine. He always meant it for you. I want to see that storyline. And I feel like it's set up for that. So I'd like to see Bucky take it, even if it's just for a few episodes. And then Sam get to a point where it's his. And Bucky says, it's always been yours. He gave it to you. I want to see that storyline because Sam's already like, I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. It's not mine. It's not the same.
That's
So,
true.
and Bucky's like, he gave it to you for a reason. He didn't give it to him. I want to see Bucky take control and be like, until you're ready, I got it. But when you're ready, it's yours. Like, I would love to see that storyline.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I want to see Sam get it. I just feel like for him to get it right now is a little too soon, you know? So maybe we see Bucky take it because then you fulfill both sides of the comics. A lot of fans are happy because you get to see different iterations of the shield being passed.
Right.
And then, which I've heard rumors, and we could see if this happens, but do you see a old man Rogers show up to Sam? So maybe Bucky takes over at the end of season 1. Season 2 happens. Old man Rogers shows up and says, Sam, it's yours, and builds up his confidence. And Bucky passes it along. Like the rite of passage, like he's finally ready type of thing. Like, wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh yeah. That would be fantastic. I love, oh God, it sucks, man, because I love Marvel and I love DC. I love them both. But Marvel just does it better.
With the exception
of
the Titans.
Agreed.
Which is another thing I'm watching right now. And with the Titans, dude, I love watching the Titans. Like,
let's just be honest, you're a little behind. Okay. A little behind.
I know.
But that's okay. But it's okay.
I didn't buy into the DC streaming service. I waited for HBO Max.
Right. That's what. And I bought in to the DC streaming service and I watched both seasons of Titans. And it was, God bless it, it was amazing.
Well, for me though, there wasn't enough payoff. Like if it was DC and they released like a bunch of series like what Disney's doing, I'd have been on board. But it was like that and Swamp Thing and one other one, and that was it. Right? There's like 3 series. Wasn't enough coming out as soon as I would have liked to buy in. And I think the better route to go is HBO Max, where you get movies and the series. So sign up for HBO Max, started watching Titans. It's through season 1, halfway through season 2, like the whole Deathstroke and his kids and how that panned out.
Yes.
Like, man, this is what DC could have always been. I am so hooked. I can't wait for season 3. Like Superboy, and Crypto.
Yep.
Like how he saves Jason Todd from a falling building and Jason Todd like kind of crumbling internally. You've got Dick Grayson. He's not Robin anymore, but he's not really anyone yet. So he hasn't become Nightwing. Like,
oh yeah.
You see Wonder Girl, you see Aqualad, Hawk, Dove. I mean, they just bring in so many characters. You've got Starfire.
Yep.
You've got Beast Boy.
I love Starfire, by the way. I don't think they could have cast a better Starfire. I think she's great.
Starfire, Raven, spot on. Dick Grayson, spot on. Jason Todd, like, I don't think you have a bad casting there at all.
I agree.
Hawk, Dove. Like, Starfire is funny because that's when you could really screw up if you're not careful.
Right.
And from the look to how they portray her and the actress that's playing Starfire, I don't know much about her, but I'm like, man, I don't know anybody else who could play Starfire. Like, she is Starfire.
Yep.
And so, man, that's just such a great series, great show. Super into it. If you haven't checked it out, if you get HBO Max, you've got no excuse. Easy watch. Watch 5 minutes, you'll be hooked. Guaranteed.
Oh, dude, the first 5 minutes of the first episode, you're going to be hooked. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Hands down. Hands down. Wonder Girl.
Yep.
Freaking Wonder Girl. Like, man, just all these characters that you grew up, that you wanted to see, because you know there's never going to be a live action movie with a lot of these characters, right? It's just not, because some of them are lower level characters, and to see them though in a live action series, man, it's just so amazing.
Oh, I agree. I love that one. I think the other one that I'll tell you that we just finished, and the wife and I binged 6 seasons of Schitt's Creek.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Can we
That's
just talk about Schitt's Creek for a second?
Oh yeah. That's one where you go in and you're like, I'll watch an episode. It looks kind of funny. Like, I like the cast, like, you know, but you don't know what to expect. And then boom, you're like, I'm hooked.
Oh, it was literally like episode 2. We both looked at each other and we were like, this is fucking it, man. We're hooked. And they're 22-minute episodes. Like, they're 22-minute episodes. So like, we binge watched 6 seasons super quick. But man, like, and it was great because Eugene Levy and his son are the ones that wrote the show. Or actually, I think it was oh God bless it.
His son worked on it, and his son brought it to Eugene. And it's funny because I read an article where actually I saw an interview where Eugene was talking about how his son and him were talking about it, and he's like, I want to do this. And he wasn't sure if his son could act and carry it on.
Right.
Like, his son had been a writer, but he'd never been an actor. Not in this capacity. And then the way they like chose the actors, the way they chose the cast and everything, it kind of like all fell into it just all fell into place. And to see what's his name? The guy that plays David.
Daniel Levy. That's Eugene Levy's dude. Daniel Levy. So Daniel Levy and Eugene Levy and Sarah Levy. So they're all related.
Oh yeah, and Sarah Levy, by the way, does not play the sister. She plays the diner owner.
She sure does. Well, not the diner owner in the beginning, but the diner owner at the end of season 6.
True, very true. Very true.
I mean, just
who won the lottery and has a bunch of money that nobody knows.
That she never told anyone. But just the storyline, like, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, it blew my mind to watch these characters over the seasons progress and grow from like this season 1 family where, you know, super rich get thrown out on their ass. But then as the seasons go on, you see them progress into like almost normal folks. Not really, but they're not the rich, stuck up. They're adapting to their surroundings, right? I think that's what got me. I think that's what got me the most.
Yes. David. Like, yeah. When you see the David. When you see the mom of Home Alone and her like obnoxious accents and the way she plays the characters and like the way she's like drawing out certain letters, it's like, oh, that is so unnatural. And at first you're annoyed, but then you start laughing at it and you're like, I can't stop laughing. That's actually funny. And then like, it's kind of funny though, when you hear about how the cast came together. The girl that was the owner or the manager of the motel,
Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie. So
she's Stevie, my favorite.
She was amazing, but like, she wasn't sure about even casting. She wasn't even sure about continuing. She wasn't even sure she was going to get it, and she still did it and got the part.
Yeah.
And then you look at the girl that played the sister, and she was about to leave Hollywood. Just things weren't working out for her.
Yep.
And they cast her. And then you look at Daniel Levy.
Yep.
Hasn't been a major actor. Did some things on like some game shows and stuff, like with Alec Baldwin or whoever it was, like on the NBC, like game shows, Pyramid or whatever it was that they've been doing where they're revamping those old shows. He guest starred on those, and horrible hair, like doesn't have the polished look. Like, claim to fame was he's a writer and he's the son of, Eugene Levy, but really hasn't made a name for himself. And he is the main focal point of this whole thing.
Yeah.
how it came together. And then they end it after 6 seasons, and you're like, I want more.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Genius.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because there's a special on Netflix after you watch the season. There's a special on
Definitely watch
Netflix.
it.
Yes, it is. It's a way in-depth look at the behind the scenes stuff and how they kind of came together as actors and you know how they got the parts, and then you know just the clothing and everything that they spent what millions of dollars on the clothing, because like the clothing they wear is legit that expensive. Like, you know,
Well,
Daniel Levy said, what's that? You broke up.
I was gonna say, but that's what makes it. Like it's that
Exactly.
clothing, that extravagance, the bravado, so to speak, of their character.
Absolutely. And I thought it was just fantastic. And you're right. I mean, at the end of season 6, we were like, why isn't there more? But then you watch the special afterwards, and Daniel Levy's like, we just knew when it was time to stop. You know, we knew we didn't want to overdo it. We didn't want to underdo it. We knew when it was time to stop. So, I mean, dude, has to be one of my favorite shows of all time. Has to be. Has to be.
You look at episodes, like different things. Like to me, one of my favorite shows is The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And the reason it's one of my favorite shows is the way it started and everything. However, I'm watching the last season of that just to get through to the end.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm like, this really should have ended a season ago. You almost hit the pinnacle. You should have just wrote an ending to it. Like it's on what, its 10th or 11th season now.
Yeah.
And there's some shows like Shameless was really great, went on, and like it's ending this season, and the way it ends, perfect. And it's like, okay, I was wondering why it kept on, but it makes sense and it's ending now, and that's good. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But The Walking Dead, it's like, man, and now they're trying to do spin-offs, and it's like you're overkilling it.
Yeah.
And then you think about things like Lost. Lost
Yep.
could have been better. To me, I love Lost, but it could have been better. The issue was the writers went on strike, and all this happened with writers and the unions and different things. And then when they came back together, they're like, we cannot finish this or do any more episodes till we have an ending, because we don't know how to write this. And I almost feel like you should go in with knowing where you want to end up and write backwards to get there, to make sure it doesn't last too long.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, dude, I stopped watching The Walking Dead after.
Did you make it through Negan?
I mean, I made
Jeffrey
it through.
Dean Morgan?
Huh?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan?
Yeah, no, I've got through. I mean, I got through the season where he bashed Glenn's face in with Lucille. And then pretty much after that, I stopped watching.
So it went through a few things that were really good because it showed the outside world. The issue is it hit a point where it drug on. It's like,
Yep. And that's what I was afraid of. Because I even felt at the end of that season, like, okay, I don't think I can take anymore. Like, I didn't see Rick's death. I didn't see Chandler's death. Who's the kid?
Rick didn't die, by the way, apparently.
Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, I didn't watch any of that. Like, I just can't bring myself. Like, the early seasons of The Walking Dead, to me, like, I could go back and watch probably seasons 1 through 5, maybe,
All the way through the prison.
Yeah. I mean, but you're right. It's just, it lasted too long. They even ended the comic books before they ended the show.
True, but the comic books were way ahead of the show anyways.
That's true. That's true.
So, but yeah, at the
just
same
feel
time.
like, well, and it's funny because, like, so we talk about The Walking Dead, but even Game of Thrones, right? I am a diehard Game of Thrones fan. In fact, Lisa and I just talked about it. We're going to go back and watch all the seasons again. But again, the last season, very disappointing.
Really?
So I thought the last season was disappointing. I did.
See, I thought the first few episodes of the last season were a little right? Like, but I knew it was going to get somewhere. So for me,
right,
I actually enjoyed the last few episodes of the last season because I thought it wrapped everything up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
And so I actually thought Game of Thrones ended it before it became too much. Because it was getting to that point where you went through all the seasons, and that last season, you knew if it goes too much further, and that's the way it started off. It started off as we've almost gone too far. But then I thought the way they wrapped everything up, I'm okay with it. I'm like, okay, good. You didn't go too far. You ended it. It wraps up in a nice little bow. We're good.
Right. And I don't disagree. I thought they wrapped it up okay. I just thought some of the episodes were really drawn out, and it really felt like they were stretching to get to where they were going.
Yeah, I could see that.
That was my feeling on it. And I was just disappointed. I would like to see, and I know there's rumors of it going around that they may redo it, but I don't want to see, I don't think that should happen. Leave it, let the sleeping dog lie, right? I'm ready for, what's the new series that's about to come out? Oh God, I'm reading the book right now. Why can't I think of it?
You read books?
I do read some books. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But it's basically about the Targaryens.
Oh,
right.
nice.
So it's like the beginning of it's based before the Game of Thrones. So it's kind of the Targaryens and their rise to power and the dragons and things of that nature. So it's way before Daenerys. It's, but and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. So
there's
Shenanigans, that one.
Shenanigans.
Oh, Jesus.
There's so many shows that went on way too long. Like, some things that come to mind is Ray Donovan. To me, Ray Donovan was brilliant Showtime show. Loved it. It's got the guy that played Sabretooth in the Wolverine movie.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Leaf Schreiber.
Yep.
And brilliant show. Loved it. And then the end, it's just like, dude, like, come on. When's I'm so invested. I can't give up watching it because I want to see the end, but there's no ending in sight. And it's just like, man, like billions.
I love that show. Love that show.
Brilliant. The last season so far, I'm like, man, this should have ended last season. Like, you should have adjusted it to be this whole ending type of thing that never happened. And I feel like that's where the networks get too far involved, where it's like, man, let's keep milking this for all it's worth. Let's make all that money. And it's like, okay, that's great. But people want to see a proper ending.
Right. No, I agree. And I haven't watched, I think I'm probably a season or two behind on Billions. But yeah, I agree. Like, but they start seeing the dollar signs, man. They start seeing the dollar signs and they want to stretch it as long as they can. And just like The Walking Dead, people stop watching. Ratings drop. So guess what? Okay, this is our last season. We're done. That's it. We're done. Nobody's watching anymore.
You can't write a proper ending. Like, it's like, okay, this is it. And it's like I get there's that need to want to milk it as much as you can. But at the same time, if you want it to live on forever, reruns and all this other stuff, you would give it a proper ending and it would live on for infamy. Right. You carry on. So I don't know. I'll say I hope this doesn't happen to another show I'm really into, which is Umbrella Academy.
I love that show. Yep. Love it. Netflix. Thank you. Thank you,
Klaus. Klaus is my favorite character. I love Klaus. Like Klaus is amazing.
Yep. The whole series is great. The next season's coming out, I think, this year, isn't it? Or maybe they're filming this year. It's coming out 2022. But yeah, it's that was one that my 10-year-old, well, you know him, the listeners don't, but he started watching it. And so he's like, hey, Dad, let's watch this. And I was like, oh, all right. I'd never heard of it. I knew it was based on, like a comic or graphic novel, whatever it is. And man, we watched the first couple episodes and I was hooked. We binge watched 2 seasons in like a week and a half, which is, I guess, not long, or is long compared to what people do, but I'm a fucking family man and I work full time. I can, that's about as quick as I could do it.
So, all right, you're going to laugh about this. I saw it on Netflix. I'm like, I should watch this. You know who watches it first in my family?
Who?
My mom.
No way.
My mom was like, I just watched this show. It's a comic book show. It's called Umbrella Academy. It's really good. I'm like, I've been looking at that. I'm like, do you like this? I don't know now. Like, I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to check this out. And my mom was up to it more than I was. And so I'm like, I've got to check this out and see what this is about. Dude was hooked. Like the casting, the guy that plays the Gorilla Man, I don't know what number he is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he was in Black Sails, which I loved Black Sails. He was Billy.
Yep.
And to see him in it, man, just how they casted those characters, the storylines, it's brilliant. Like I really enjoy Umbrella Academy. Thought it was great. Really into it. Can't wait for the next season for sure.
I agree. One other one, and I know we got to wrap up here soon, but one other one I don't know if you guys have watched is the Ozark.
Holy cow. I mean,
bro.
So Breaking Bad is probably, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to say it. Probably my all-time favorite series.
Definitely top 3. I agree.
Okay. Ozark reminds me of Breaking Bad almost to a T.
Mm-hmm.
It's that train wreck you keep watching, you keep seeing it happen, and it's like they keep trying to make the right decisions to dig out of the hole, and it keeps getting them deeper. And it's just like, I love Ozark. Ozark is amazing. And Jason Bateman, big Jason Bateman fan. So
one of my favorite actors of all time. Well,
and then the girl that plays like his like mentee that he's grooming to like help him with the business, who was in Justified.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Justified, which loved Justified. So when I saw that character, I'm like, holy cow. It's like,
Just rewatched all 6 seasons of Justified as well, actually.
Great show. Like Ozark is basically Breaking Bad meets Justified. Is it not?
I don't know about Justified, but it's definitely meets Breaking Bad.
Take the Breaking Bad element and you make the Kentucky backwoods setting of Justified. That's Ozark to me. Like Breaking Bad meets. You see where I'm going with that?
Yep, that makes sense. But it's I think the next season's coming out. What is it? Late April, early May, something like that. I don't even know. But dude,
there's so much
excited
to watch. And then every time I go to cancel a streaming service, I'm done with Netflix. And then all of a sudden Netflix is like, hey, Punisher's over, but Disney Plus is like, oh, the lead for Punisher, we're going to carry on into Disney Plus, what's the guy's name? I think you know
John
his
Barenthal.
name. John from used to play Shane on The Walking Dead, played the Punisher. I'm like, well, that just stinks. Now I need to go back to Netflix and rewatch The Punisher.
Yep. He was in The Accountant with Ben Affleck. I mean, dude.
Yes.
Barenthal is amazing. I'm super excited for The Punisher. They're calling it a reboot with John Barenthal. So And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I still need to have the dark, angry Punisher. I don't want it to become a Disney massacre. I want rated R. I want rated R.
But here's the thing. Disney has greenlit Deadpool 3, which will be rated R.
Right.
They've also talked about like how they wanted more of the rated R series for the darker comics. So
right.
You've got Blade, you've got Ghost Rider, you've got some of these others that can't be like a PG-13 character. Moon Knight is not a PG-13 character.
Right.
So I'm very curious to see where that goes. You also seen the last Captain America, or no, not Captain America, but Falcon Winter Soldier, where Captain America takes the shield and basically like decapitates this guy.
Crushes the skull.
And so, yeah, it's kind of PG-13, but it stays true to the storyline. And so I think we'll be okay. I'm very hopeful because you know what? Kevin Feige has not let me down yet. And with him saying Deadpool's rated R and we greenlit Deadpool 3 and we want Deadpool to be in more movies, I gotta think that they see that there's an audience for both sides.
I agree. And so that brings me to Daredevil.
Ooh.
Daredevil was fan-fucking-tastic. I would even put that over the Punisher, John Bernthal's Punisher series. I thought Daredevil was masterful. I thought Kingpin was perfect. Daredevil,
okay.
Charlie Cox was perfect. I mean, what are you going to do with that? That's what I want to know. If you're going to keep the Punisher, great. I want to see it. I want to see it rated R. I want to see blood. The same goes for Daredevil. I want Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
He is.
Hands down.
They brought him over.
Well, we have yet to see a series or any ramblings of a series.
Huh? He did sign with Disney. He is on Disney, like Disney, the MCU signed Charlie Cox to play Daredevil. Like that's been confirmed.
Right. And I think he's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie and he'll be playing the lawyer for Peter Parker.
Yes. Which then opens up like Disney Plus series. The only thing I'm going to disagree with you on is Kingpin.
Oh.
I did not, I will say, I did not like Kingpin. I hated the Netflix series Kingpin. To me, the Kingpin is very aristocratic. He may be thuggish, but the way he speaks and his arrogance is a very aristocratic, like uppity speaking, even though he wasn't brought up with that language. When you read the comics, when you look at like even the old animated series, he always speaks elegantly. I can't even talk about that. Whatever. Elegantly.
Yep.
I felt like that was missing with the Netflix Daredevil. I felt like it was like a thug playing Daredevil, and it's like that's not what I grew up with. So I didn't like the portrayal. Like I thought, to me, Michael Clark Duncan was a better Kingpin than this guy.
Than Vincent D'Onofrio. Really?
I'm gonna stand by it. That's my opinion.
You know what? I mean, and that's the beauty of this. We can differ. But I thought the beauty of his Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil Netflix, was he did speak precisely, but I felt like they showed that he was trying to speak precisely, right? That he was trying to speak up to that level of standard. And I think that's why I liked it so much, because it really showed, you know, kind of where he came from ish. Not, there was no origin story in there.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. But I would like to see D'Onofrio in the MCU. I don't want to see another Kingpin.
On that aspect, I would say, okay, I can be okay with that. They cast the wrong guy for it. Don't like the guy for that. And
well, then okay, so who would you cast as Kingpin?
I don't know.
If
that
not
would take
D'Onofrio.
some thought.
Okay.
That would take some thought because
that'll be for another show.
Yeah, but I have heard rumors that Disney has been like kind of, same mindset. Like he's not going to be a part of the MCU. And I have heard that he's kind of spoken out like, okay, it's not Daredevil without me. And he's a little upset that they haven't signed him on. But I have heard that Disney is not going to sign him on. Like that's done. They want to recast Kingpin. And for me, if you're going to go that route, I when they casted him, I from day one, I was like, it's not the right guy. And I've been wrong before. When they casted Ben Affleck for Batman for the new Justice League, I was like, okay, this is going to be bad. I've seen Daredevil. This is not going to work. And I was wrong. And I completely changed my mind and attitude. So it's not that I'm stuck because I've made that decision, but I just don't see it. Like, I don't see, he just doesn't bring about Kingpin for me. Like, he's just missing something as an actor to be able to bring it home. And I don't know what that is.
Oh, man. I don't know. I disagree. I just can't see anyone else playing Kingpin. But you know what? We'll see. We will find out. And I think we're going to find out in Spider-Man 3.
We will.
I think so.
We'll see how it goes. Other things that we're watching. I will say I hate Paramount with a passion because they just don't put enough crap out for me to watch. So got into The Stand, the reboot of The Stand, Stephen King.
Okay.
Thought it was great. Really enjoyed it. Modern take. Love the recasting. Love Whoopi Goldberg as I don't even know what the character is. But really enjoyed the series. And then I'm like, okay, there's nothing else here, so I'm going to cancel it. And then they come out with Coyote with Michael Chiklis.
Love.
And I watched the first episode.
The Shield.
The Shield.
Oh yeah.
What does he play in? He was the commish. Like, so here we go, going into it.
Okay.
And first episode, it's like, it reminds me of The Shield. He's a Border Patrol agent, like broken family, trying to like make ends meet, but still being a good cop, but maybe cutting some corners. Goes down to Mexico to rebuild a friend's house who died to help his widow out, and gets involved in the cartel and all this other stuff and people crossing the border. And it's like, damn it, Paramount, you I have to pay another subscription because I want to see how this goes.
Yeah. That's one I haven't seen. And me being a Chiklis fan, I'm gonna have to see that. The only thing we watch on Paramount is Bar Rescue. And I think the wife and Zach like wife swap. But
my wife watches Ink Master.
Oh yeah.
Dave Navarro.
Yep.
I'm like, I love his music. I hate the show.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of the show. I enjoy the tattoos. I mean, I enjoy tattoos anyway. But yeah, that's not what I can get into. Not at all.
And what else we got? Little random things. History of swear words. Now that one's full of shenanigans. Anytime Nick Cage is involved, there's shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've only watched probably 2 or 3 episodes, but I think one was fuck, and then I think Schitt. And what was the other? There was one other one I think that we watched too, and they were hysterical, dude.
I watched.
They were
Bitch.
hysterical.
I watched the one with Bitch. That was funny.
Did you?
Yeah, and then there's a few other ones, which I'm afraid if we keep going down this route, we may have to put a censor over this for that one. But
well, even with fuck, we're gonna have to put a sensory on here. So
very true, very true.
Yeah, this is gonna be TVMA, bro.
I didn't realize that he is the actor with the most like F's.
Oh yeah.
Out of all, like, I would have picked Samuel L. Jackson.
Me
What
too.
about you?
Yeah, I would have picked Sam Jackson.
Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Sneaks on a Plane.
Yep.
No, it's Nicolas Cage.
It's Nicolas Cage.
Drops more F-bombs than anyone else.
Yep. Yep. But he's also got more B movies than anyone else.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
now,
Snake Eyes for him started his B movie career. Like, and I love Nick Cage, bro. I love Nick Cage.
But his B movies aren't bad. Like Con Air. I love Con Air.
That was not a B movie, though. Con Air was not a B movie. The Rock was not a B movie. Oh, no.
No?
Those were, no. Nope. I mean, those were Bruckheimer films, bro. Those were not B movies.
Okay. Well,
not at all. Not at all. Not even close.
He was on Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, not a B movie, but yes. No, but there's, I mean, like, I'd have to look it up. I mean, he's got one that just came out. And I'll look it up.
I figured those were like more like C movies, the ones that are coming out lately. Just things where he can make a buck to get him out of like bankruptcy debt.
But that's it. Like, I mean, because you think of like Ghost Rider, right? You think of Face Off, you think of National Treasure. I mean, you think of all these movies that were not B movies, and now Gone in 60 Seconds, right? Not a B movie.
Oh, classic.
And now I can't
The
find
Family
it.
Man with Jeremy Piven.
Yep. Piven, again, one of my favorites.
City of Angels with Meg. Is it Meg Ryan?
I think so. Yep. Oh yeah, that is right. Goo Goo Dolls did the soundtrack. Absolutely.
Yep.
Oh, so his most recent one was Willy's Wonderland, and it's a take on. I feel like it's a take on Five Nights at Freddy's. You know what Five Nights at Freddy's is? Yeah.
I do, but it's called what?
It's called Willy's Wonderland.
Say that one more time.
It's called Willy's Wonderland. You're way off on the laugh track, buddy.
I'm sorry. This is episode 2, so we're still working out some kinks, but Shenanigans right there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's just so many B movies. I can't. I mean, there's so many on my phone.
Go back. I gotta know, what is Willy's Wonderland about? Because you didn't finish it, and now I'm curious.
Listen, I don't even know. So it looks like I'm assuming he's some kind of drifter, and he goes into this old shitty ratty ass town, and he's hired to clean this like almost like an old school theme park ish type thing. And there's killer like teddy bears and shit. So he has to survive a night in that place cleaning it. I don't know. It's fucking weird, dude. It's weird. But it's just shit like that. Like, oh, what happened? What happened, man?
You got the Wicker Man.
R.I.P. baby.
Which is just awful.
Yep.
But we need some Nicolas Cage in our life. Look at the memes we get from Nicolas Cage. Like,
that's true.
I want to see a Tiger King where Nicolas Cage plays Joe Exotic.
Absolutely.
We got to make that happen. Like, petitions, whatever it takes. Like, the Tiger King with Nicolas Cage playing Joe Exotic.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree. That would be.
I don't think there's anybody else.
No, that's a moneymaker right there. Boom. Put it down on paper.
That's an A movie. That's no longer a B movie. That's an A movie right there.
That's an A movie.
Back to the top.
Oh, especially with the Netflix series and all that shit. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Well, it's getting that time.
It is.
Talk about things we like. Share Facebook, Instagram, Slack us, whatever the case may be. Things you're watching, things you want us to talk about. We're going to have a few more topics as we go through. Again, tonight was TV. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? Or next week. Or whenever the next episode is.
Exactly. So, yeah, guys, reach out to us. misguidedshenanigans@outlook.com is our email. You can find us on Facebook. Finney, it's Misguided Shenanigans, right? That's how we set it up.
I think so. I'll make it more clear as we go through the episodes. Again,
So maybe
Shenanigans.
episode 3 will have all that for you.
Follow us, subscribe to us through YouTube, through Anchor, all the channels, all the social media. We have it all. Website's coming soon. We're gonna have it built. By the time this releases, who knows? It could be built with our fancy logo, although you could say it's not fancy, it's dated, depending on your age or your view. Who knows? And
That's it.
yeah, keep watching, listening.
That's right.
Watching, listening. Which one? I don't know.
All of the above.
All the above.
All the above. All right. Go get into some shenanigans, people. Peace out.
That's right. Have some shenanigans.